internet, welcome back grubs and scrubs. I like to sniff at the start of a stream, at the start of conversations at the fact. So, I would always say it's to signpost my crippling addiction to cocaine. So something you're going to learn about people like me is we're not always honest. It's not cocaine I'm addicted to. I could also say it's not ketamine. Realistically, it's the fentanyl they cut the ketamine with. Anyway, it just gives you an idea of the tone of the conversation to come. But here we are. I use my, my RESPECT, showing some respect, getting the respect, and getting the win force. And I gotta say, like, I don't know, it's better than this, but like, when you look at the numbers and you're like, Jesus Christ, it does like 4 times the maximum damage. You'd think it would just delete, like delito, and it just doesn't. It's just like, oh, okay. Like, don't get me wrong, this is players 3 and it just one strafe, got both those skeletons. Like, if you rarely get the curse off with it, because it usually kills stuff before the curse can proc, so I'll give it that, right? And we are just bumming around in the pits and, the Tomo Highlands, so, it's not like we're taking on really tough stuff. Maybe I should take it to the Wellstone Keep, give it a real test. But I kind of just want to, like, christen it in the pits here. And, yeah, like, it's good. But I actually have this, like, terrible feeling that if I'm getting, like, really pressed, I'm gonna value the Riphook more because of the faster curse proc and the slow. Like, Riphook is not slow at clearing this stuff. But also, the Riphook does have a socket, the Windforce doesn't. I need to look at its breakpoints and see if it's worth putting a Shale Rune in it. I could have put a Hell Rune in it, I suppose. It does have really high... Like, what is this strength requirement, by the way? 134? When this bow requires 76, like both elite bases? Like, the... the ability requirements of elite, elite grade weapons in this game are just the pits. Like, it just stinks. Like, I was looking at, I found the unique shield, the Gothic, whatever it is, the elite version of the Gothic shield. It's called Spirit Ward or something. And it's like, I was looking at it and I was thinking, like, you could kind of be, like, invincible with this shield. Like, it has so much res. It has, like, the 5% chance to proc fade when you hit, but it also has, like, really good block stats. Ow. And, like, because it has so much res, because it has so much block, because it already has a chance to proc fade, like, it means that, okay, we don't have to fuck around with, like, a treachery. You can wear a vamp gaze or something for, like, some physical damage resist, even though fade will probably get you to the cap by itself. I just want to see how it does clearing this room, because this room is always a bit of a pain in the butt for the Riphook, and, like, yeah, see, that's where the Wind Force just, like, is so good. With the multi-shot, like, just clearing rooms. And that's an elite base. Worth a look. Woo, look at that max damage. So one of these days, I want to, like, do a playthrough of this game where it's basically like ADD kid build, but like only max damage matters. So like anything that has higher max damage is like automatically valued low. No more than like 5 points per skill. So you have to have like some completely borked skill tree because you get like TikTok brain, you get bored of using this skill after like 5 minutes, and you're like, no, I'm gonna change it, but not get a respec, But yeah, look, I can't say I'm not happy just to have the wind force. But this is an unfortunate reality, is that a lot of these kind of like holy grail items are just not very good anymore. Like compared to the the rune words that are available. Although I will say, bow rune words kind of suck. So where I know for a fact the wind force is going to be much stronger, is going to be playing on like the higher the player count, the more it will kind of come into its own. The time to kill, as is with the two bows right now, is like wind force is definitely quicker, but it's kind of close enough that it's not like impressing me a huge amount, you know? Hold on a second. But yeah, I was just saying, so where it's going to come into its own is like, if I were to play on Players 8 with the Riphawk, and I've done it, and it can do it, it's just like, everything is just like a wall of meat until you proc the curse on it, and then you can kind of start damaging it, but it's still, you still got to chip it down quite a bit. But there's no, like... There's no getting around the speed of the Riphawk is just so much better, like... I don't know, Riphawk is just a perfectly statted weapon, and don't get me wrong, like, Wind Force is a powerfully statted weapon, but there's a difference between the two things. And, I have said it myself, and I'm not pretending it's not the case, that, like, weapons first and foremost need to deal damage, right? So, it's kind of hard to argue with just big number, Which is one of those reasons why I always say, and have always said, that if you do just want to kill shit with the Zon, it's kind of hard to beat the Bariza, because not only because the base stats on it are so busted in terms of like, it's got like, massive IAS, huge chunk of cold damage, which is like the best type of elemental damage you can get. 100% pierce. That's such a damage multiplier. But like, yeah, come on. If you actually look at this in terms of like what every single affix it has, the value of that affix, increased attack speed is, IAS is a 10 out of 10 weapon affix as far as I'm concerned. Obviously 40 is better, 30 is better, whatever, but just any amount of IAS, 10 out of 10. Big ED number, anything over 200% is, I wouldn't say 10 out of 10, not by itself, but, when you factor it in with that huge scaling max damage per character roll, yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 damage affix. Can't complain about it. Mana Leech, not 10 out of 10. Big quality of life, but not 10 out of 10. Knockback, nice on a bow, but not 10 out of 10. Plus strength, plus dex, heal stamina plus 30%. These are like 1 out of 10 affixes. They'd piss you off if they weren't on such a good weapon. Like, you could literally delete everything from this after the damage, and people would still love this bow. Because those are the affixes that matter. But now look at this. When I say this is a perfectly statted weapon, right? The only thing on this that you just is kind of like you just throw it away is the life leech. I mean, plus 35 mana, yeah, but that's such a low value affix. Like, so you got IAS 10 out of 10, you got ED, not good enough, but kind of good enough. You got open wounds, and then you got slows target, and it's the synergy between open wounds and slows target that to me makes Riphook like a perfectly designed weapon. In that, like, someone genuinely sat down and thought about it and was like, you know, how could I make a bow that's like really effective? You know, that doesn't rely on like front loading damage, right? Because obviously, if I use a DOT to kill the enemies, then the enemies are going to be dangerous to me for longer. Well, now I mitigate that with slow. And I really wish we had more weapons like that in the game, like where they had like, you know, just a good coherent sort of plan, a good coherent like loop behind them, if that makes sense. Behind the kind of ethos of the weapon. Because some weapons in this game are very, very like comically obvious, just grab bag, garbage affixes, pulled out of a fucking hat. There's like, the devs had no idea what you were going to do with it, whether it would be useful. And you know, some of those weapons turn out to be really strong, because players find a niche for them, right? Players are really good at that. But sometimes there's just stuff where it's like, okay, this is just garbage and nothing can save it. But yeah, the damage of the Windflow, it's really nice. I need to play someone through to Hell or something like that, just to pinch a socket quest. Yeah, where you, like, for me, the real party trick of it is this multi-shot. Like, the multi-shot on this one is a little bit like, yeah, it's a bit anemic, and it's really hard to keep up the mana leech. Obviously you can't mana leech at all on skeletons, but the Wind Force is just like a perpetual motion multi-shot machine. Like, even just on these three, not a problem, you just keep it going. Man, what is this?
I am overburdened.
Freaking Bush Week, freaking Rune Week? What do we got here? But yeah, as I say, I don't think that basically, Wind Force is good because, for whatever reason, they just went, like, big on the stats, you know? And primarily on the ED. I mean, like that, it's gonna deal with things like souls so much better if you need to just like spray multi-shot 2 screens away and, you know, you really need to do damage with it. Whereas with Riphook, the multi-shot is more about just like spreading some quick slow, getting the getting some like open wounds procs so you can start chipping stuff down. There's no question the time to kill on this thing is considerably better, but this is my thought, right? Like, let's say I'm playing PS5 or whatever, and I do come up against something like a pack of Moonlords that the Wind Force can't just quickly sweep away. And this is what I was trying to explain so often when I was going through Hell with even with this doing 60 damage. You know, with the, what I call the cripples on setup, saying like, it's okay, like, it's okay to kill slowly as long as whatever you're killing isn't a threat to you. So if you have a full slow setup, or even just Clegs and Blackthorns, Clegs and Riphook, you're just 50% slow, like, you have twice as much time to kill stuff before it can like kill your mercenary,
Good
chunk
day.
your Valk down, come after you. If you do need to kite it, you spend way less time just like walking and way more time shooting. So your actual, you know, the truth of like your in practice DPS can actually be considerably higher in a fight. Like it's not all just about that number on the screen, because you need to be able to apply that damage. And you know, it's like when I point out something like a shield, like the huge value of like a shield. Like imagine, I don't know, you equip some like giant damage stick on a Whirlwind Barbarian, like a Hellslayer, or you know, a Windhammer or something, right? And you're just like getting some like anime heart eyes at like the number here, right? And thinking like, ooh, you know, I can just like whirlwind through a mob and just delete them. And you know, the truth of it is you can't. Because what will happen is you will whirlwind into the mob, and then you will take so much damage that you need to like, you know, run away and potion up or something. Like, unless you have like the most elite setup. That's pretty cool. That could actually be a good hustle base or something for a paladin if I just want to shank stuff for the fun of it. But yeah. Weird boots. Anyway. So like, I don't know, let's say the Wind Force has half the time to kill of the Riphawk, which is probably about right. The thing is, it's just going to be flatly worse against physical enemies. So the Riphawk is still really good to have on swap. Not to mention for the open moves and slow on bosses and blah 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 blah. Like, I don't know. Like they could have given Wind Force slow, to be completely honest. Even back in the day when Rune Words didn't exist and we didn't have all this power creep, and like, you know, like Wind Force was unquestionably the best bow you could get, like apart from a Barisa. But even then, there was a period where you couldn't actually. Oh, nice! Look at that, free Shaco. Free Shaco. like otherwise you have to go to like the Shaco vending machine. This game is a Shaco vending machine though. It's so disgusting how many Shacos have dropped for me. Like, I've just got Shacos on mules. I've got Shaco, like I'm using Act 3 mercenaries just to like put Shacos on them, just to have some like, I'm using their heads as like Shaco holders. That's exaggerating a little bit, but like it is, I think I've genuinely, that's like my 6th or 5th Shaco.
I am overburdened.
And like, it's not like I've been playing this for like a year or something. Like, I just had an unidentified Shaco sitting in my stash for so long, because I was like, oh, this is just another Shaco, okay, whatever. It still does look cool though to see that like old Shaco. You know what? Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to get like one of every unique in this game and not identify it, just so I can like give people that dopamine of like throwing it on the floor and like letting them see the like the text that they would see when it actually drops, you know? I'm so sad that I identified my Wind Force, but then I wanted to use it, so technically I'll need, you know, 2 of every unique. It's gonna take a couple hours to farm them. Oh, I did not want to identify that. Oh well, that's right. I'll get another Shaco. Shacos grow on trees. I know that's like, there's someone out there who's like crying because they can't get a Shaco in single player. You know, they've been farming meth for like 2 weeks, and no Shaco, but they've gotten like 3 Scalders or something. I got a Shaco before I got a Tarnhelm. On this account, and I still only have 1 Tarnhelm. Oh yeah, like, look at it just clean these bumps out. Like, I know these are very weak enemies, but this is sort of like exactly what you want to use multi-shot for. Just like clear the field of all the chaff, all the garbage, and then you can kind of focus in on the tougher enemies with your strafe. That's exceptional. Yes. Don't bother my mouth. Oh yeah, drop jewels, drop charms. I'm at peace with that. I don't like using strafe or multi-shot out here because, like, I just have this terror that something is gonna, like, die 3 screens away and drop a fucking Zod rune. Which is, like, I don't know why that concerns me so much, because it's like, if I didn't even know it dropped, how is it gonna hurt me not knowing I, not getting it? But it's just that thought in my head. Woo! I should probably, look at their affixes before I, like, go to melee range and kill them. But I guess that's just, it shows you how much confidence this build gives you. Like, and by the way, the only slow I have on this build now is Clegs. And as far as I am concerned, like, you just slot Clegs on a Boazon. If you're playing PvE, just like, don't think about it. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Like, you just slot them Clegs. Like, don't even, you do not need to think about it. Like, there are no gloves. You want more than Clegs. Like, what do you want? Like, maybe Drackles for the open wounds. I don't think you'd want Steel Rend, even if, like, by some absurd stroke of luck you had them, because they're comically rare. But let's say you had them, they require like 190 strength or something to wear. So I don't think you're going to want Steel Rend. Plus, you're going to have Crushing Blow from your boots, maybe your helm, Anyway, so like Drackles, maybe, but then like Drackles kind of either stops you using Atlas or interferes with Atlas, and I don't consider that to be an acceptable trade-off. But you could go Drackles and High Lords. Like, there's no, like, on Players 3, if I put High Lords on now, like, I'd be just taking these mobs down so fast. But I'd also literally have no answer for Stone Skins and Immune to Physicals. Even with the Boner.
I can't
What is
carry
this?
anymore.
Is this like, this is exceptional? If even exceptional, maybe? No. Little bit disrespectful for it to drop in like pits in hell, but such is life. Still a cool weapon. The multi-shot on this is so much better. And the strafe is quick enough, Plus, as I said, I haven't actually looked at the, IAS breakpoints for it. So it could literally just be like a Shale Rune away from another breakpoint, in which case it's not going to be that far behind this one. It's pretty far behind this one in terms of like raw speed. You don't really notice so much during strafe, but like, look at the multi-shot compared to, it's almost twice as fast. But that's kind of the value of strafe. Like, strafe, I would say like strafe is better on slow weapons. In some ways it is, but there is a limit. Like, I wouldn't use it for Reza to strafe. It's like, it also depends. If you're playing softcore, playing hardcore, if you're playing softcore and you don't care about dying every now and then strafe it, whatever. Hey, a second unique. old ghost armor. Yeah, man, a set. What is with all the color on this pit run? Like, it's not good stuff, but it doesn't matter. It's still cool to see it. I feel like I'm doing Mephisto out here. The old Scions. Itchy Siggers. The old Siggers. Oh, we got a rare amulet too? Yeah, bit of rare amulet. Bit of rare amulet action, mate. Yeah. Yeah, take that shit out to the old decade. Take the Dazza. Yeah, let him have a good look at it. Poke around under the hood. Oi, Dazza! Identifying stuff! Spirit Shroud is a good armor. It's just... like, it's a really good armor. It's like kind of the Duriel shell for a caster. Like, +1 all skills, cannot be frozen, magic damage reduced by 9, that's significant. Even replenished life 10 is not worthless. It's just like, geez, I kind of would like to have some resistances with my armor, but... I mean, if you don't have cannot be frozen, you're kind of a prisoner of whatever has cannot be frozen,
What
you know?
need?
Sorry, a friend of mine sending me some text. But yeah, what a cool pit run that was. Like, just so much freaking color. The only problem with this now is, like, I do kind of like having this on swap. Even though the damage kind of poopy, because, well, MF. You know, the MF do be MFing. It do be. Dooby doob. Get out of here, you freaking electric pricks. No. See, that's what I mean when I say, like, just the safety of being able to attack faster. Like, I don't get tagged like that in that situation if I'm kiting like that with Ripple. Like, just that, the time it takes to, like, stop and let off some multi-shot is just, it's just a smidge too long. But like I said, it's worth it for the damage. And, you know, for the majority of fights, especially just coming through here, it just clears the pit so much faster. And just as comfortable, though. I'm not going up there. Cannot be fucked with it. Really? Oh, and another. Okay. Alright. I guess we're doing this. You don't drop anything nice or anything. You fucking demon cunts. Ah! Look at this, like, super fast devil kill. Like, bro, what are you rushing? tits, my son. Like, we're coming to you, don't worry. You don't need to stress. The damage, though, it is really nice. Like, I can crank this up. I can crank this up to Players 5 now. And, you know, I'll clear this on Players 5 with the Wind Force about as quick as I was clearing it on Players 3 with the Rip Hook. Like, as soon as that amp damage goes off with the Wind Force, stuff just goes freaking absolutely evaporates. Very satisfying. And being able to just like stand in this doorway and just clean this freaking room out with multi-shot. The Diablo. It's cool. It's cool to be running around with a Wind Force. And, you know, look, I know you can hero it at one end, but it's just like, it's not the same. It's fun though, like, 100%. Never like, a single player game, you know, like, never like let yourself be, you know, like, don't think that like, oh look, it's cheating, it's this, it's that. It's like, bro, if you want to fucking, you know, give yourself some Zod runes or something, fuck around with it, try out all the high rune words, see how it all plays. Like, that's all you, like, it's not like you're gonna be seriously like playing with stuff that you know, because what are you even gonna do, right? Like, so much of the good items in this game like post-game loot, if that makes sense. Like, you're not finishing the game with, like, you have to be level 73 to put this bow on. So it's like, I play slow, and, you know, even I'm kind of like winding up hell by about kind of level 73, 74, 75. And the last parts of hell, you know, you're just kind of running through a lot of it. Like Act 5, you pretty much run through all of Act 5. So,
I can't carry anymore.
You know, it's not like you're gonna have like, oh look at me, I'm crushing the game, like some delusional moment because you like cheated yourself you know, Breath of the Dying or something. The only thing I would say is like, because I've done this a lot, like messing around with hero editors and stuff like that, was the main way I kind of played this game. Because, basically, because there's two ways to play this game, right? Well, that's not true, actually. There's definitely more than two ways to play the game. I'm just talking shit. But, okay, let me put it this way. Basically, a good chunk of the gameplay in this game is grind. And there's nothing wrong with that. You will never hear me say that like grind, you know, is not gameplay. Grind is 100% valid gameplay. But it's a type of gameplay, you know, and you've got to have time for it. You've got to want to do it. Blah 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 blah. Why is this not? Yeah, how about that? I think that's because I respect and I didn't adjust my keybinds. But yeah, so grind is see what I mean? Off-screen runes. It's just the terror of everyone who plays this game. Like, that was an alt rune, yeah, but it could have been a Zod rune. But yeah, a big part of the game is just grinding, and if you don't have time or desire to do that, but you still want to kind of like play and mess around, you know, that's how I used to play this game. Was just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm just gonna try out this new rune word. I'm gonna try out this unique that I could never get on Battle.net or whatever. I hate not being able to use a button while the cube is open. It's so annoying. There's probably some reason for it. Why do I just run into the middle of that? I was yawning in fairness. Wow, what is with all the ethereals dropping? Although I don't know if they are actually ethereals, but 4 sockets? There's definitely some that you can do with 4 sockets, but I'm not picking it up because I think there's something I might be able to do at some point. Like I probably have runes or whatever. The EXP down here is so good. Even on PS5, when you hear that with the wind force, you know shit's about to just get chipped. chucking a shale in the wind force does actually allow it to hit a breakpoint. Honestly, I'll probably crank this up to play a 7. Just so I'm getting EXP while I'm down here. Not that I'm not getting EXP now. EXP is surprisingly good, considering this isn't a Terra Zone. But then I think Terra Zones are kind of like... I don't know, it's a great idea in principle, but too many of the Terra Zones are just kind of worse than just like normal farming spots. Like, why would I go here? There's no reason to go there. I just stay in the pits. Yeah, some more gold was nice to see, even if it's like how the mighty have fallen. Like, we all remember killing Diablo and like OG Diablo with Griswold's Edge, and in this game it's just like, I mean, it's got 100 ED, it's got IAS, it's got attack rating, it's got fire damage. I know that people are gonna be like, knockback is so terrible. Like, dude, shut up. Have you ever actually played with a weapon that has knockback? Like, it's actually legitimately not that bad. And people who think that like hit causes monster flee like makes shit like unusable, I'm just like, dude. Again, have you ever actually played with it, or are you just listening to some other dumb cunt like memeing on it, who probably hasn't played with it either? He's probably just saying it because a streamer said it, and the streamer probably barely plays with it, or he played with it once and, you know, had a bad time or whatever. Like, it's such a dumb meme in this game that like knockback ruins melee weapons. It just fucking doesn't. It just flatly doesn't. That's pretty freaking cool. Like, as an ethereal with replenished quantity, like, put that bad boy in a throw barb. They barely need quantity to begin with. But yeah, anyway, biggest like dumb shit meme in this community, yes, I swear to God, is people's hatred of hit causes monster to flee and of knockback. It's like half the time, it's like, bro, you're playing like, I don't know, a fucking cold Amazon or like a Jabazon or something. Like what's gonna fucking run away? Or even if you're playing a melee character, it's like you're playing a paladin, you tag like 5 things every time you swing, and like maybe 2 of them get knocked back and 1 of them runs away. And then it's like, if you're actually like playing in like any kind of like serious content, like other enemies are going to come up and take their place. Like, it's not like you're going to spend like it's not like you're gonna like try to kill this Yeti and he's gonna get knocked back and then you have to run and then he gets knocked back and then you're gonna hit him again and then he starts running away and then you gotta chase him while he's running away. I'm like, if that's the experience you're having with hit causes monster and knockback, it's because you're stupid and you're using a weapon that does fuck all damage. Like, and then it's like, you can't blame the affix when you're using a shit weapon. Like yeah, okay man, if your weapon does garbage damage and you need to hit things 60 times to kill them, then it's gonna really suck for you. But like, I don't even know how that happens, because like you can literally just make like a steal and completely clear normal. You know, you can make a, you know, if you use 2-handers, you make an obedience and like clear fucking nightmare in hell. You can clear, you know, you've got insight, you've got hustle, like so many easy to farm rune words that do like just more than enough damage that sort of stuff should not be a problem for you. And then it's like, there are things for which it is just flatly an advantage. But I know what the problem, I know exactly what it is. It comes from this mentality of like, you know, the only way I want to play is one-shotting everything, and anything less is just trash. And then it's just like, you know, it's this idea that like, I don't want CC, I just want damage. It's like this little like, you know, ADD 10-year-old boy mentality. And then you start getting into the world of people who like think that like fucking Hellslayer is a good weapon, when it just is an absolute piece of shit on everything. kind of ranty, but I don't know. Like that just is like a huge pet peeve of mine. Because I'm sorry, like on a Boazon, hit cause monster fleet is nothing but beneficial. Like who doesn't want to shoot at enemies that are running away? Knockback, nothing but beneficial on a Boazon. Irrelevant on a Whirlwind Barbarian. Irrelevant on a Zerker. Irrelevant on a Charge Power, they already have it. Irrelevant on a Smite Power, they already have it. Irrelevant on a Zealot if your weapon has like more than 1 point of range. And, you know, isn't doing tickle damage. And to be honest, if your weapon is doing tickle damage, you should be glad of the CC. Because that's the only way you're going to get space, is with CC. So it's just like this weird... I don't know. I don't know how the meme happened. And I really do just think it is people who play on Battle.net. And, you know, so they've never been in a position where, like, you know, like, let's say you're starting an account, it's a single-player situation, or it's, like, solo self-found, it's ladder, it's something like that, right? And some item that 90% of people will say is complete garbage, like the Face of Horror, right? How can you call the Face of Horror garbage? Like, excuse me? For its level, it's like one of the single best items you can slot on any range character. Like, it's all resist, it's a massive chunk of dexterity, which is attack rating, and it's, yeah, okay, hit causes monster fleet. How is hit causes monster fleet a bad thing? For a Boazon, for a Ranger, for a Throw Barb, for, you know, even, like, how is it a bad thing for a Zerker? Like, Zerkers only fight uniques and champions who don't care about it anyway, and they make everything else run away with Howl. And you can cancel out hit causes monster fleet by just hitting Taunt. Like, so who hates it? Like, I'm trying, like, again, I'm like, just trying to, like, Whirlwind Barbarian, it doesn't even proc on Whirlwind. So Whirlwind Barbarian and Berserker don't care. Just flatly don't care. So the only Barbarians that are going to care are, like, I don't know what, Frenzy Barbarian? Like, Frenzy Barbarians move like they have fucking jet engines strapped to their ass. They don't give a shit if an enemy is running away. But okay, we can kind of argue that, like, okay, Frenzy Barbarian wouldn't like it. Alright, fine. You know, Concentration Barbarian won't like it. Okay, fine. Like, I would say if you're playing Concentration Barbarian, you've already given up on your own happiness. It doesn't matter what affixes you use. Like, you've already chosen depression and nothing can help you. Like, so just accept your new depression life. Like, and go play your Concentration Barbarian and be miserable, and don't tell me it's because of hit causes monster fleet. It's because you're playing a fucking Concentration Barbarian. Vengeance Paladin, same deal. You already chose depression, mate. Like, don't blame the items. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like, once you really start looking at it, what are the builds that actually give a shit about hit causes monster to flee? Like, that would genuinely mess them up. We just explained why Berserker, which is the best melee barbarian build, it's completely meaningless to a Berserker. It's meaningless to a Whirlwind Barbarian, which when I used to play was the most popular barbarian build. I probably still is outside of hardcore, because people just do be loving the Whirlwind because it's fun as hell. And, you know, spinning is a good trick. So it's irrelevant on a Whirlwind Barbarian. It's irrelevant on a Berserker. It's irrelevant on a Singer. It's irrelevant on a Throw Barb. That's almost every barbarian build right there, and all of including the best barbarian builds. So the only ones that it's maybe relevant on are Concentration, which is objectively the worst barbarian build, and freaking Frenzy. And even then, I would argue that on Frenzy, it's not that big a deal. I mean, yeah, some people use leap attack, I guess, for like an in-game build. I'm not a big fan of it, but again, you know, look, the thing that you actually target with your physical like leap attack, that attack does so much freaking damage that you should be like pretty much one-shotting stuff if you're using that. So having hit cost monsterly shouldn't be a big issue, and it already has knockback, so it doesn't give a shit about like so. You know, hard luck. Having knockback on your item ain't gonna change anything. So we just went through the list on every barbarian, why none of this stuff matters for them. Like for the vast majority of them, right? Necromancers literally don't care, right? They're completely irrelevant affixes. They're not even physical damage. But even a dagger necro doesn't care about it. In fact, a dagger necro will probably just be glad of the extra CC, right? Like if I've already just tagged something with my dagger, then it's taking damage from the DOT, and at that point, I just want it out of my face. Because I'm a freaking squishy little, wizard man, I'm gonna get instantly killed by it if it can actually attack me. So, Poison Dagger Necro actually likes those affixes. Boazons like those affixes. Jabazons don't care. Physical damage Spirazons kind of do care, but also physical damage Spirazons are like so devoid of any kind of like they're just so bad at fighting large numbers of monsters that any amount of CC is probably going to like really help them not die.
Yes.
Like, especially if you can, like, hit a bunch of things with, like, Fend and, like, make a few of them run away, shove a few of them back, just get a little bit of space for yourself. Like, you will genuinely be glad of that, because you're all, like, every fight for you is, like, desperate freaking brawl, because the base build is just so bad. But it's like, okay, fine, like, you could maybe argue that it's bad. I personally think it would be good. Zealot, I don't think it's particularly noticeable when you're, like, attacking a group of monsters at like, extremely high speed with fanaticism, and then, I don't know, like 2 of them get knocked back, or like 1 of them runs away. I don't think that's particularly noticeable or problematic, but whatever. Okay, we can argue that, sure, Zealots don't like it. Zealot is the best melee build that the Paladin has access to, so, that's not the best. But Vengeance Paladin, again, it's like, if you're having a bad time as a Vengeance Paladin, it's because you're playing a Vengeance Paladin. Like, it's not the items. And, having knockback and stuff like that on a Vengeance Paladin, again, you're so devoid of your ability to actually handle groups and fight multiple monsters that any amount of CC that makes a little bit of space where you get shit out of your face is probably going to help you rather than hurt you. Hammerden doesn't care. Charger doesn't care. Smite Paladin doesn't care. They all either just won't trigger those affixes, or, they're effectively triggering them anyway. That's pretty cool. What else is there? There's like melee druids, I guess, are not gonna like it. Even then, I mean, if you're playing a Maul Druid, like, you're probably just gonna be glad of the extra CC, because you have no crowd control. A dog may be a different story. But, like, it's exclusively beneficial on most range builds. It's kind of like, it doesn't, like, help me a huge amount, or it doesn't hurt me, or it even just flatly does nothing on a lot of melee builds. Like, like a Whirlwind build where it just won't proc at all. Hold on, I'm gonna get some keys. I'm tired of not having keys. So yeah, this idea that, like, hit cost monsterly and knockback are somehow, like, affixes that just ruin a weapon, it's the biggest load of dumb shit you will ever hear in your life. And the people who say it, like, just don't use that equipment and don't know what they're talking about. Like, I'm sorry, they just don't. And look, it's fair enough. I'm not saying that these items are great. that the items that have those affixes and suffixes are always like amazing. But what I'm saying is like those things do not make them unslottable. Like there's that sword from the Volcathos set that like people hated the knockback on it so much that Blizzard actually like patched it. It's one of the few items that, you know, got tweaked in this game to remove the knockback from it. And the sword's still a piece of shit. The sword was a piece of shit because it was a piece of shit. And people were blaming the knockback. And it's like the knockback was probably like maybe giving it a tiny bit of utility that like it didn't actually have. But it's an elite sword with like 200 ED. Like, knockback ain't the problem at that point. You know, it's also a sword that like just doesn't really have anything going for it. It's got a bit of crushing blow or something. And if you really want to make it like good, you have to pair it with like another bad sword to complete the set. So it's just like, okay, so now I have to play like a frenzy bar because one of them is a two-handed sword. I have to give him swords, which like, you know, that's already like, okay, why not just go axes or clubs or something that like don't oblige me to pump decks? You're already losing just to the fact that you have to equip a sword. One of them is like a freaking Colossus sword, so the stat requirements on it are like comically stupid. And then at the end of that, like, what are you getting for your massive sacrifice of stats, of dex and strength and everything else? Like, you're getting a sword with 200 ED. And it's like just someone out there in internet land got it in their head that the problem with that sword was that it had knockback. And it's just like, I cannot wrap my head around like how goofy as a person you have to, like how completely devoid of deductive reasoning you have to be to think that that's the problem. It's like looking at a fucking like car that's like burning. It's on fire. There's black smoke pouring out of it. And thinking the reason the car is like not a good car is because there's no gas in the gas tank. It's like you've got bigger fucking problems at this point. But yeah, anyway, huge freaking rant about knockback. But it like, I don't know, it needs to be ranted about. Like, I say that I don't have a lot of like game knowledge about this game, and that's true. But any kind of game like this, a lot of people who play the game just like in the kind of like just general like casual player base, it's often like shocking how like just non-existent people's actual like game knowledge is, you know. Like, and it's not that like there's nothing wrong with not being like some huge nerd and understanding all the concepts and the systems and, you know, doing the math on the stats and the DPS, the breakpoints, and knowing it all and blah 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 and da 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 da. Like, whatever, you don't have to be that. Like, you don't have to be that. And no one's gonna like make fun of you for not doing that. What gets me is when people will like, you know, they say shit with like so much fucking confidence, like they say it with their whole fucking chest, right? And it's just like, you, like, bitch, you don't know shit. Like, you are not saying that because you personally know, because you personally tested it. You're saying it because someone else said that. And now somehow you've gotten so fucking convinced of it. Like, you think it's literally the goddamn word of God. Like, and it just ain't. Ooh, nice. Is that another Jalal's, though? I swear to God. Like, I tell you, as soon as you get one, as soon as the game gives you one, it's decided that you can have it now, and it's just like, oh, okay, start throwing that man Jalal's, like, yeah, it is. Alright, you know what? I can't complain about having 2 Jalal's, because at least they're not Charams. But yeah. Oh, nice. This thing's a piece of shit, but still. You don't see that text every day. Oh, I should have not identified that because it was my second. That's alright. I'm gonna need two, so... That's life in the big city. Alright, just make a little space here. But yeah, that's the only thing that bugs me, man, is like, hey, instead of like you find this item and just immediately saying like, this pace check just got knocked back. Like, I don't know, man, like try slotting it and see how it works. Again, though, I do think there is a kind of, I don't know what you would call it, like almost a cultural disconnect between people who play this game in single player and people who play in Battle.net. Because in Battle.net, like, you don't have to use, like, you never have to, like, just kind of make subpar items work. Like, there are so many really nice, really usable items that you could just get for free. But I don't know. That, like, to me, I think the only thing that would get me back onto Battle.net would be if I wanted to do PvP, and I don't want to do PvP. But what is this? That's nothing. But yeah, I really hate this item. Like it's just one of those items with nothing. Like it just has nothing affixes. And at the level you can equip it, for it to just be like flatly worse than a fucking rhyme made in like an Act 1 shield. Like a kite shield that you buy from like Farah in like Act 2 normal and shove 2 easy to get runes in is just better. And like that's doubly embarrassing because it's not some like power creep ladder only, you know, 110 rune word. It was like Rhyme was one of the freaking OGs. Like this item didn't exist in the game when Rhyme did, as far as I know. So this item was added after Rhyme. Is vastly rarer than Rhyme. Can't be equipped for like, you know, 50 levels later than Rhyme. And is just a piece of shit compared to like, you know, even a bad rhyme in like a completely like scuffed base. It's just worse. You could literally spend, I don't know, half an hour shopping and buy a better shield. Or just a shield with 3 open sockets and 3 diamonds in it is just a better shield. And I know the selling point of that shield is that it has open sockets, but like, come on. It's supposed to be unique. So having a unique that's just like a mediocre item, but if you want, you can spend a lot of like, you know, hard to find resources to actually make it good, is like super disrespectful way to build an item in this game, because the whole point of uniques is, you know, that they ain't that. Like if you want to go hunting runes and jewels and blah 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 blah, that's a totally different puzzle in like in the itemization, where yeah, sure, of course, like if I have a bunch of like burr runes or something, I can make something really freaking good for myself. Like who doesn't know that? And I'm not putting him in a fucking piece of shit shield, you know? Like even if you put legitimately like elite level god tier high runes in this thing, it's still just flatly worse than Storm Shield.
Yes.
I would say in some ways it's still worse than Rhyme, because at least Rhyme has stats like
Greetings.
MF. MF. You know? Like, it's worse than the Milbrega's shield that has just a little bit of MF on it. But Rhyme is like, like Rhyme is such a freaking good item because not only does it have MF, which is super rare in the shield slot to begin with, it has block affixes, exactly what you want on a shield. It has resist ult, exactly what you want on a shield. Bish, it has cannot be fucking frozen. Like, Rhyme is flatly one of the reasons why, like, you can't play with two-handers if you're doing solo self-bound. Because there's no, like, free way to get cannot be frozen. Otherwise. Like, it's just one of those items that, like, really dominates the gear slot. And deservedly so, without being, like, stupidly overpowered or anything. It just has some, like, really nice shit that's exactly what you want that piece to do. Ain't staying here. Back into the pits. But yeah, like, I've legitimately seen people look at these and say they're bad because they have knockback. And it's just like, everything you hit with that, with those gloves, does 25% less damage. Everything you hit.
Yes?
Those gloves, in combat,
Hello.
give you better protection than a sharp stop. On the glove slot. On the fucking glove slot. Comparable amount of protection to a storm shield, if you ignore the storm shield's additional, like, elemental affixes. On the fucking glove slot. Like, if you're playing your Whirlwind Barbarian, your Paladin, whatever, and like 3-4 Moonlords run in combat with you, and you tag all 4 of them, which is very easy, especially if you're like a Zealot, if you're a Fury Druid, you know, Whirlwind Barbarian, Frenzy Barbarian, you tag them all really quickly. It's like you just got an extra Sharp Stop out of the thing and just put it on for free. The thing is, Sharp Stop. So here's the thing, right? Everything in Hell can do elemental damage. A lot of them, they just do it all the time. So these guys are immune to cold. They can just hit you with a cold spectrum. It's not a trivial amount of damage, right? It's a lot of fucking damage. Like, you will notice in Hell, if you have bulk resistances, it doesn't matter how much life you have. You can wear a Storm Shield, you can wear a Sharp Stop, you'll just take huge amounts of damage. That's because in Hell, even melee enemies are trucking a good chunk of elemental damage. So in some ways, the Clegs are better than a Sharp Stop, because a Sharp Stop is only blocking the physical damage. They block all damage. They also, like, let's say you tag a enemy that casts spells, an enemy that shoots fireballs, an enemy that poisons you with lightning, or whatever, they slow them recasting that. If you tag archers with it takes them ages to, like, just knock and shoot their arrows. You could very easily, like, just dodge around them and avoid the shots. Especially if you have a longer sight. Obviously, it's way stronger on a range character. But, like, I don't know, man. Like, that genuinely does my head in when I see someone, like, ragging on Clegs, which to me is, like, I don't know what gloves are better, to be completely honest. Steel Red, maybe, for, like, melee, but it's just, like, I don't know, man, like, you should have Crushing Blow. Like, you should be getting it somewhere on your equipment. You should probably have some on your weapon. It's not that hard to get. The strength requirement on those gloves is way too high, they're way too hard to farm. Like, Dracul's Grasp I can understand a little bit better because the strength requirements are very lower, they have Leash, they life tap. So they give you some like a different kind of safety to collect, but it's still very good safety, and potentially best in slot for something like a smite ally who like can't reach otherwise. But also, oh, okay, all right. Damn, just wasn't paying attention. I did hit the button and I did eat the potion, but whatever.
The sisterhood welcomes you.
But also, I can tell you I would not have died then if I was using this.
Yes?
Because slow is legitimately that good. Slow is like, you can have the best bow in the game and it's still just not necessarily as good. But anyway, yeah. That's crazy. Like, I genuinely have not died in the pits with this character, with the rib hook. And just losing that extra 30% slow. You know, now it's just like I have to play in like a really different way. I have to be focusing a lot more. To avoid just getting deleted by stuff that has ranged attacks.
I can't carry anymore.
I probably should have stashed some of this stuff. Hold on. Let's go stash it.
Good to see you.
Cool find. But also, I tell you, this game, like, as soon as the game drops one, it can drop more. It's decided that you can have the thing, whatever the thing is. You could spend a month trying to get like one shaker to drop, you know, on a new account. And then one shaker drops, and then like over the next 3 days, 4 more shakos drop. I have no idea what this is going to be used for, if anything, but that's fine. And yeah, all this because I wanted to ID these gloves. Because red gloves can be really freaking nice. They ain't it though. But yeah, I've seen some like dismally brain-rotted takes about stuff in this game. And I'm not even coming at that from a standpoint of like, look, I don't know, man, like I can admit I like stuff without having to pretend that it's like best in slot. And I can admit that there are things I just don't like that are you know, really good. God, I wish Strafe had some kind of
can't
aiming
carry
mechanic.
anymore.
It's so annoying when you're like, there's enemies directly in front of you. Oh, okay. That's freaking cool. But yeah, it's so frustrating when there's like an enemy right here, but you just want to like fire all your arrows at something literally off screen in the opposite direction. And it's just like, okay, sure. It does kind of mean that like most of the skill in using Strafe is about, you know, just controlling a sightline and getting everything in front of you. But that takes time. And that's fine when you're clearing like a serious dungeon like the World Sim Keep or something, but it's also kind of, you know, it works based on the layout of the tile set. They are Vidalas or something? Yeah. Bunch of nonsense. But I cannot complain about today getting the 5-socket man catcher ethereal. Very spicy. Also ethereal. Getting another Jalal's, just generally seeing like a lot of color, a lot of gold, which is always like really spicy down here because you can get a lot of like just dry runs in the pits where you just run after run after run and there's nothing even worth identifying, like no charms, no jewels, or maybe a couple drop, but they're just like, it's garbage. But I can't complain. The last couple of days I've gotten like skillers, I've gotten wind force, I've gotten like, I got the Jollos, and just a general kind of like nice sprinkling of like uniques, and I think I got a Vex rune a couple of days ago, which was really nice. A Shaco today, which is like, you know, I have kind of Shaco ennui. I'm like disillusioned with Shaco, but Shaco's still cool. That's interesting. I wonder if how many sockets you can actually open. Because like everyone who has played this game a certain number of times, every now and then I just get that like depraved urge to play a Poison Dagger Necro. It's funny, like I will rag the shit out of like Vengeance Paladin and Concentration Barbarian that are just objectively
Good
better
to
than a
see
Poison
you.
Dagger Necro, and yet I'll maintain that like Poison Dagger Necro, like this is the thing, as I was saying, like, I don't have to pretend that just because I like something it's good. Like, Poison Dagger Necro is objectively one of the worst pieces of shit builds in this game, right? And it's like, you have to actively want to suffer, but that's also, like, why you can't really say Poison Dagger Necro is bad. Because if you actually max all the synergies for Poison Dagger, then you're gonna have a max Poison Nova, and you can literally just use that, right? So you're making a choice to suck when you play a Poison Dagger Necro. You're choosing to use the worst option that you have. And like Poison Nova can be like disgustingly strong in this game. Like you can get like Bramble that just flat gives you 50% more poison damage. You can get Tranquils that give you 25% more poison damage. Oh, that's freaking Fanaticism Archers. But that time I actually switched to the Rip Hook. Tried to get some like safe tags in while maintaining a bit of mobility. Slow them down. You know, just tell them like, Zomba, tits wolf. Okay, the game just does not want me getting to the pits today. There's so many ranged boss packs between me and them. But hey, I'll kill the boss packs out here. Like, they're still worth the XP. They're still worth, they can still drop stuff. And now, okay, you know what? I'm getting annoyed with this. Oh, we got the stone skin. Let's introduce him to the power of the owner. Get out of here. You are no match for the boner. But yeah, like, good times in the pit. Cannot complain about the drops. And that's why I keep going back here. Can't complain about the EXP either. Like, the zone is still definitely at the point where it's coming in like relatively quick, even on the player's 5 setting here. I don't know how she's going to clear pits on player's 9, apart from just, you know, with a lot of patience. Like this shit. Like half my arrows are going to one skeleton that is off screen. I don't know. 2 skeletons. I so wish Strafe was like a hold to aim, release to cast, where like you hold down and there's like a cone that you can like move, and then you let go to like strafe, and it will only target enemies in that cone. Man, I love how both my mercenary and my bow, like, just ignore this, which is way closer, and go running to that. It's
I am
fine.
overburdened.
Is this Natalia's? I hope so. 3 sockets? No, Huanins. Huanins. So, when I was thinking, like, how can I make Huanins work? I thought, maybe base everything around that chance to cast Static Field when struck. And I was thinking, like, you know, play a Thorns Paladin or something. With like a 2-handed weapon, which, you know, the one instead has a 2-handed weapon. And just kind of go in and accept that you're going to get hit. But you're going to be proccing static and you're going to be hurting stuff with thorns. But then it's just like, I don't know. The stuff in this game that is already the most dangerous stuff in this game, like the stuff in this game that you actually care about, that's actually going to kill you, doesn't give a shit about thorns. Like, either it's just so tanky, it's like, you know, Death Lords, or something with like a fanaticism aura or something that, like, yeah, they may be chunking themselves or they hit you, but like, you die too fast for that. Or they're just flatly physical immune. Physical monsters. Oh man, the range on that Holy Freeze is so fair. Like, I literally can't even have them on the fucking screen without getting CC'd. Yeah, the multi-shot is so good. Oh my god, can I hit the Shaman? Like, I strafe at literally everything else on the screen, apart from the fucking Shaman. Like, I don't know, man. I know it's just random, and it's just like, that's the reality of a random ability, but it genuinely feels sometimes like it only wants to target shit that you don't want it to target, basically.
Yes?
Like, it only targets the, like, most distant, lowest priority, like, you know, the thing that you actually don't care about killing. Meanwhile, everything that you actually want dead, it just loves to just completely fucking ignore. Or it'll throw, like, one arrow at them per strafe. But, that's the reality of it. It's a fun ability when you can make it work. But it can really be tilted juicing. Like, it can be this good, you know? That's for dollars? It's so fun just standing at the door and, like, giving the whole freaking dungeon the broom. How much is this guy blocking? Or, oh, he has stones again. One more run, I think. I might do a run with the Riphook just to see how it handles Players 5. I know it can handle Players 5. It's slower, there's no question about that. But it's also safer because of the slow. Like, crazy as it sounds, if someone said to me, like, hey, you're doing a hardcore playthrough as an Amazon, and
Good day.
you know, I'm gonna let you, like, just pick a bow. I should upgrade them, but I can't be bothered. And you can just pick any bow. Physical damage Amazon. I would 100% pick Ripple over Wind Force. Not even a question. Because in a hardcore context, that slow is just... Well, A, there's the attack speed, which makes it way safer. Safer to use. Less likely to get tagged by ranged enemies. You know, you can apply the slow and everything else really quick with it. the other thing is, like, as I mentioned the other day, like, basically, by the time you can actually equip a Wind Force, like, you're not endgame, you're post-game. Like, you're done. Like, all you have left to do is MF. Maybe do Ubers or something. I don't know. But your gameplay loop from that point on is just MFing and leveling. Whereas even upgraded to the elite base, like, you can equip this at level 52. Like, even on, you can upgrade this to an elite base before you leave Nightmare. Do you know what this bow does in Nightmare? Like, I cleared Nightmare with this bow, 60 damage, normal, exceptional base, so comfortably, pretty much always on at least on around Players 5, Players 3 to Players 5. Cleared all of hell on Players 3 with this bow doing 60 damage. Admittedly, yeah, I had a lot of slow, and I had an Atmoscara, which really helps. But it's not necessary. You can actually just chip things down, like, nice and consistently with a good amount of, like, open wounds and slow. Like, you just lock them down, and they'll just slowly die. But it's also, like, the slow, like, maybe it's just your mercenary and you're Valve killing everything. And maybe the slow just means they can just get the job done, because you're making everything so safe for them. But, like, look at this. This is Players 5 with the Rip Hook, and just doing the job. Like, see how quick you can just flick off a bit of multi-shot just to get the slow on these guys, and now they're way less dangerous, and we can just kind of walk around strafing them. And there's no question, the damage is not as good. I'm not even gonna pretend that it's as good. But the slow is so good. And the open wounds. It's crazy to me that even after playing this game for like 20 years, you can have these discoveries, because always the bow that I used to like want, and I've said this many times, was the Witchwild String. Alright, this is going to be some not very good jewel. I mean, it does have 26 cold resist, which is pretty good. But yeah, the bow I always wanted was Witchwild String, and now I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, you know what, actually maybe this Rip Hook is legitimately my favorite bow. But I still haven't tried the Witchwild String, and I really do want it. I can't believe I found a fucking Wind Force before I found a Witchwild String. A Wind Force, like 2 Eagle Horns, like 5 Barizas, Blood Raven's Charge, Widowmaker, like every single elite bow, like setting aside the crossbows, because I haven't found either of the elite ones, but every single elite bow I have found before finding Witchwild String. I found every exceptional bow, except for the crossbow, the Chukono or whatever it is. You know, and often finding like so many of them that I just throw them in the, like I don't even necessarily pick them up. But like, look how freaking good this bow is. This is Players 5, we're in the pits. And this is a bow with 100 damage. Like, admittedly, yeah, it's very, very fast attacks. What is this? Thresher Town? Like, when I say the game just randomly decides you can have something, like, I got a Reaper's Toll, like, earlier in this week, I think, and was, like, super hyped about getting it, you know, wow, my first Reaper's Toll, it's so awesome. And then I think I went back down in the pits or something, wherever I was, Ancient Tunnels, maybe I was doing Terrapin Mephisto or something, and just like almost instantly found another one. Ooh, okay. So we've got Obedience Ethereal Man Catcher and a Hustle Ethereal Man Catcher. I'm here for it. I like it. Hell, I could replace that like right now if I wanted to. I think you can make Obedience in a Spear. I kind of need to replace something because I'm running out of freaking room. Alright, you know what? I like that, it's cool, but it's not. We're not keeping it. We don't need it. I could probably throw that away as well, to be completely honest. But it's such good Merc armor. What is my Merc even wearing? Oh, he's getting Ethereal Druid Shell. Alright, fair enough. And... Hustle in a Stygian Pike. There's no point putting an Obedience on this guy unless I'm doing like Baal or something. Like I was doing some Baal runs with him, and it was nice to have the Obedience for the swap. What do we call it? The skibbity swap with the Sigma sticks, you know? You gotta give him a skibbity swap. I wonder about maybe doing a Druid run or two. Druid's drops just stink though. Because of the whole Count Bottle thing. Look at that, the Ripple just does it on what are we playing? Yeah, players 5, and it just handles it. It's such a freaking good bow. Even if I were to stop now, like those two finds, pretty nice. Hold on, let me do the Obedience, because I genuinely will just throw this on the ground at this point, because I've got 2 Ethereal Obediences then. Not me, just literally just Googling Obedience, like the freaking Google's gonna know what I'm talking about. Helicopter F foul, and it works in spears. Okay. Hell. Foul F. Foul. F. Foul. Running low on foul rooms. Alright. Hell. F. Foul. That's a pretty spicy obedience. Like 300 to 600 damage. And that'll be a nice hustle base for my summoning necro. But I don't know if I'm going to make that yet. I'm getting a little bit of like rune anxiety about some of these, you know. Only having 1 foul, only having 3 co. Maybe I'll roll sockets into this just so, you know, when it inevitably gets nothing, I can chuck it in the bin in disgust. Oh yeah, so that's the ethereal. Oh, did I make another ethereal hustle? Oh shit, so I've got 3 ethereal. Okay, maybe I'm not going to make a hustle on that, I don't know. But it's cool to get the obedience. And like I said, I don't know, I just don't know if I can bring myself to throw that away. I'm too much of a grub. But the need for this is kind of, yeah. So I've got an ethereal hustle here, I've got another ethereal hustle there. I'm not gonna lie though, ethereal hustle kind of like low. Alright, I hate that I'm using the word low key now, like using it unironically. Like I've been freaking tainted by Zuma slang. And yeah. Alright, that's fine. I kind of wanted to get rid of it anyway. Clear a bit of space.
Welcomes you.
Alright, I'm gonna do one more run. I'll do it with the Wind Force just so we can do like a 1-for-1. Did the Riphook run. Let's do the Wind Force run.
I need a key.
Yeah, you can't. No, you don't. You need your feet. You need to tie your freaking shoes and run. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. Alright. Yeah, this is definitely the last run. I gotta go out. I gotta run. Alright, so this is where we do a cheeky Riphook swap. Just to get that fast initial multi-shot tag, reduce all that incoming damage. Oh, that's cool. Always nice to see gold. That Ironstone. Ironstone is one of those weapons that like I would always be happy to fire on a melee character. Just because like it's such a free clear of Nightmare. Like, it'll clear normal for you nice and easy, you just upgrade it with like your Soul Rune or whatever, and just clear normal. Then you don't have to worry about weapons. Damn, we didn't even get the curse on him. That was just the boner. Ethereal, please? Yeah. Still cool. Still a cool base, like for hustle armor or Lionheart or something. Oh, they are not in the happy place. Look at this. Man, not at again. Game, you can drop anything, just don't drop at again. Not again. Like, excuse me, joke, social distancing, please? Wind Force is pretty chunky. Like, it's a chunky boy. The damage is definitely hard to argue with. It's not a small difference. It's not like, like, no. It's big. But the slow, I love the slow. I love the safety of it. It's good to have both. Yeah, when you get the boo on them with the wind force, Jesus. The damage do be bossy. Doobie doo. It do be. Oh, can I strafe them, please? The slow multi-shot, but man, it hits hard. Yeah. Look at the Merc, just bugging it out. These guys. Oh, okay, no way. Why must you taunt me like this?
I can't carry anymore.
And it's ethereal. There is a not stupidly expensive rune word that you can build in an ethereal hammer base, I think, that will give it indestructible. Like, I'm fairly certain, so that could still be a cool find. But we'll take a look. When I say, I mean, it's not like you need like a freaking Zod
I
rune or
can't
something.
carry anymore.
So it seems like the main thing we've been getting today is them elite bases. Although the Jalals was a really nice find, and the Shaco. Can't complain about the Shaco, man. Just a free Shaco is a free Shaco. But yeah, gonna be wrapping that up there. No more Wind Forces, no more Holy Grail stuff today, but still some freaking cool drops. The double sphere drop, the double man catcher drop, both ethereal, one with 3 sockets, one with 5. Like, that was pretty clean. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't say a bad word about that. Not even having to like waste an am rune or something to roll some sockets. Just bonk bonk. There you go. 2 freaking fantastic Merc weapon bases. Go off and have a good life. And the hustle's good because I will probably want a summoning druid at some point, and he'll want to hustle on his Merc. Get those doggos and the bears and stuff moving. Anyway, take care.